Morning everyone and welcome back to Morning Markets from True Potential. We'll kick things off by looking at stock market returns on Friday. The FTSE 100 was up again 0.4%. The FTSE 250 was up 0.5%. European equities were up 0.8%, as was the S&P 500 in the US, and the Nasdaq was up 0.5%. Japanese equities were marginally lower overnight, down 0.2%, but overall good returns from global stock markets on Friday. US equities noticeably higher on improvements in general investor sentiment, but also well received earnings coming out of US banks. So we heard from Goldman Sachs on Friday. They posted a big numbers in terms of sales and earnings, beating analyst expectations that were actually very high. European equities had their best week last week since March, but overall investor sentiment was boosted on Thursday, where we saw better economic data. So we saw the number of people in the US claiming unemployment benefits noticeably fall. We've seen lower than expected producer price index inflation and positive takeaways from the US banks' earnings. In terms of economic news on Friday, we had the US retail sales data for September. The expectation was for a 0.2% fall for the month, but sales surprised to the upside, rising 0.7% over the month, offering further encouragement that the COVID-related slowdown that we saw in July and early August has given way to a more positive economic environment now that COVID cases are falling sharply. We saw spending noticeably higher in motor vehicle and part sales and sporting goods, while some of these items, of the more volatile items such as motor vehicles, food, and also building materials, if we exclude those volatile items, retail sales actually rose 0.8%. against the expected of 0.5%. So it does look as though the US economy is re-accelerating. In terms of the week ahead, it'll be a reasonably quiet start to the week. We do have some housing data coming out from the US with building permits and housing starts. On Wednesday, we'll get UK inflation data out with the consumer price index and also the producer price index, which shows the prices that producers of goods and services are paying for their inputs. We heard from Andrew Bailey, the governor of the Bank of England on Sunday, who just warned that they'll have to act to curb inflationary pressures. He noted that UK inflation had already risen and would rise further in the weeks and months ahead, which would warrant action to tame medium-term inflation. So if we do get higher than expected inflation numbers out this week, it will lead to higher interest rate expectations and those expectations becoming firmer. We'll get inflation data from Europe and Germany as well. On Friday, we'll get UK retail sales, but also we'll get the manufacturing and services PMI survey data out for the UK, US, France and Germany. PMI readings gives an indication of broad business activity, but if you dug into the details and look at the underlying components, that can be really insightful. You can look at the level of new orders, inventories, employment, prices and outlook. In bond markets on Friday, we saw bond yields push higher for sovereign bonds. So the UK 10-year government bond yield pushed 5 bips higher to 1.1%. We saw a similar move in the US, where the US 10-year government bond yield pushed 5 basis points higher to 1.57%. Commodities, we saw a bit weakness in gold. That was down 1.7%. Oil was higher again, up 1.1% to $85 a barrel. We saw a bit of strength in the pound against the dollar, trading at just short of 1.38%, and trading against the euro at 1.18. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Subscribing to the True Potential YouTube channel is quick and easy. Simply go to the channel on your desktop or through the YouTube app on your phone and click the subscribe button. You can then press the notification bell symbol if you wish to be notified as and when new videos are released. Doing this is a great way to keep yourself updated with market developments and personal finance insights. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and we look forward to continuing to help you do more with your money.